Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy YouTube Blue coming back at you again, and it is Tuesday evening. Cowboys get back to work today. Yesterday was Victory Monday. So my whole philosophy on it is you play your game on Sunday, you win. You got the rest of Sunday. You got Monday to celebrate. Tuesday, you get back to square one. You get back to work to get ready for that next week. And that next week is the Atlanta Falcons. Play the Atlanta Falcons, go down there. And when I looked at this game on the schedule earlier in the year, and I was like, oh, here we go. It's going to be like last year. But, hey, we don't have Chaz Green this year, so we can look forward to that. But there's a lot of similarities to this year and last year already, as I can see. And I'll talk more about this when I do my matchup on Saturday. We played them last year in November. We're playing them again this year in November. I think we played them on the 11th last year. We played them on the 18th, I believe, this year. They were going into that game 5-3. This year, the record is similar. So it's almost like that same feeling going in. But after that win yesterday, I have a little bit, not saying I have more confidence, but I feel like we have a better chance of winning, especially because they dropped that goose egg to the Browns. Although the Browns do have talent this year. I mean, they've had it for a while. They just couldn't put it together. But with the emergence of young Baker Mayfield and Nick Chubb having a big game, like whoever had him in fantasy this week was flourishing, and I know they won. Actually, the person that played me in fantasy had him this week, so I got the losing end of that one. But that's neither here nor there. You know, with them having Jarvis Landry and Miles Jack and I mean not Miles Jack. I'm sorry, Miles Jack played for the Jaguars. I meant what's the other dude's name? What's the guy's name? Jabril Peppers. Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. I get those for some reason I get those guys confused. I don't know why. Because I mean they're all dynamic young players. So I mean and again it's hard enough keeping track of my own players on my team. So forgive me for that. But I look at it like this. These games are any given Sunday. That's why I was never a betting man. I was never a guy to come in and be like, all right, I'm going to bet for this team, bet for that, because you're going to lose. I think it was the Eagles. I think it was Philly 500. Shout out to Philly 500. I think he made a bet that if the Eagles lost, he was going to shave his head. Well, sir, you lost, and you got to shave that thing. So I look at it like this. I ain't betting nothing. I ain't making no wagers, nothing. Because, especially for the Cowboys, because you are going to be wrong damn near 90% of the time trying to bet on a Cowboy game if you were a person that's into that type of thing. Now, I look at it like this. It is so hard to be a Dallas Cowboy fan. We all know that. But when you look at what they do week after week, and with this up and down coaching staff and them wanting to pull out the playbook this week and not wanting to pull it out this week. And it's just, when that game started, I just looked at, when that Eagle game started, I said, we're going to win. And I'm going to tell you why. First of all, it was that fight at the beginning of the game. And I finally found out what happened. So, apparently, there's a certain part of the field that the Cowboys do during pregame when they stretch and work out or whatever that they do pregame. And I think some of the Eagle players came over there and tried to claim the spot, but they were already there and they weren't trying to leave. So then I guess Chris Richard went over there and he said something, and then their defensive staff said something, and then that's when the squabble happened. Now, when I saw that, I said, oh, they fired, they ready, they fed up. They tired of the Eagles doing this. Because if you notice, all week the Eagles been doing this. Cowboys ain't been talking. And I love that. I love the fact that we don't respond. We show it on the field. And every time they do this, we come and win. It's the same thing when we play the Redskins. When before this last game that we lost, when we won 4 straight before, they were doing all that all week. And it's just like, just act like you've been there before. And you know, with that squabble, I was like, oh, Cowboys ready to go. And then W. Bush was there, and I was like, I don't know why you're here, but I guess I mean, the game wasn't in Texas, so I was like, why you here? Why you here? Why you at the game? But I was like, well, he here. It's got to be every time the Cowboys have a special guest, they always win. Conor McGregor, they won, like, whatever. So I was like, oh, well, W. Bush here, I guess they're going to win. Then they deferred the kick, like I've always wanted them to do all year, because I hate when they get the ball first. I always say, put your defense out there, let your defense set the tempo of the game, and go out there and knock some heads in. Again, they deferred the kick, and I was like, yes, that's what I want you to do. They get that 3 and out. Then the Cowboys get the ball. Of course, it was a 3 and out. Dak got sacked in the first drive, but we started getting momentum after that. And throughout the game, I was just like, okay, we never trailed throughout the whole game. Cowboys made some mistakes, but the refs they weren't calling, they called 0 penalties on the Eagles. I know y'all saw that game, and I know y'all saw Damian Wilson was trying to rush the passer at the linebacker position. He was coming straight through in between the center and the right guard. He tried to go through, and then all of a sudden you just see the offensive lineman have his damn near got him in a headlock, holding him back. But all the refs are talking about, I mean, when they did the instant replay, you see that in the instant replay. But all Chris Collinsworth and them are saying is, oh, you see the way Carson Wentz still got that ball off even though the ball got hit? And I'm like, you talking about that, but right here, right off screen to the right, you see him, Damian Wilson, getting choked in slow motion because they slow it down. And I'm like, really? So y'all just gonna breeze through that, huh? Y'all just gonna act like that didn't happen? That is hilarious to me. And I'm like, yo, they really hate the Dallas Cowboys. And I hate to sit here and be the one to be like, oh, everybody is always trying to see the Cowboys fail. But as I see these refs not calling stuff on other teams but call everything on the Cowboys, it makes you wonder. It's like, come on now, this is not a coincidence. You guys really just have a vendetta against the boys. But hey, Cowboys still did their part. They won the game, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. Now, there was a lot of sloppy moments in the game. There was a lot of times that, and I said this in the last video, about Dak, my issues with Dak and, his mechanics. But again, I believe that the problems that Dak is having can be fixed. But I feel like Jason Garrett don't say nothing to him about it. Scott Linehan don't try to help him with it. And Kellen Moore can't say nothing because how's somebody going to teach you something if you beat them out of the quarterback position? I'm just saying. But it is what it is. I just feel like something has to work. It's not making sense in Dallas right now. And even though we won, I still want Linehan gone. If you're hell-bent on keeping Jason Garrett, Jerry Jones, okay, for the year, whatever. But you still got to do something with these play calling. Because as long as Scott Linehan's calling these plays, I don't trust it. And he has a tendency to, when people criticize him and he knows his job is on the line, all of a sudden he wants to pull the bag of tricks out and try to do something. But no. Because everybody's trying to save their job, and I'm just like, we done seen this every year now. This mediocrity, this 8-8, this 9-7. I'm just tired of it. And then you sprinkle in the 13-3 here, or 10-6 there, or 11-5 there, but everything else is 8-8. If you look at the track record, it's 8-8, 8-8, 8-8. But I don't even know why I keep talking about it, because it don't do nothing but to raise my blood pressure. Because there ain't nothing I can do about it. I can sit here and talk about it all day, but it ain't going to change until they make that change. And I just hope that something happens for the positive. And I'm always trying to look for the positive. I'm positive because I'm glad that we won that game. We needed to win that game because we would have been up creek without a paddle without winning that game. Now we have an opportunity to go into Atlanta, beat the Falcons, and go on to the Redskins for Thanksgiving and see what's going on with that. Because we still got the Saints coming up after that. So I look at it like this. You look at this offensive line. Suafilo played very good in that game. He was holding off Fletcher Cox, and he was throwing that man around. And again, Suafilo is not the greatest athlete. He's not a better athlete than Connor Williams is, but he's definitely Coco Hush. But he's definitely a strong guy, and he's powerful, and that's what Connor Williams needs to be. But Connor Williams is not going to get that until he gets into an off-season program where he can lift weights and stuff like that. That's my whole thing with that. But I think that what they need to do is I think they need to, if Suafilo comes, I'm just gonna say Xavier because his last name is crazy. But if he's gonna continue to do that, and we have a good running game next week, then I think that you need to keep Xavier in that guard spot. Let Connor sit for the rest of the year. And I know it's probably going to diminish his self-esteem a little bit, but, you know, it'll give him a chance to work out and then get himself ready in the offseason for next year, because I think that they want Connor Williams for the future. So Xavier has a 2-year contract, so he's going to be here next year too. And we may lose Joe Looney in the offseason because teams seen him start in this league. So if he gets on free agency, people are going to look at him like, we don't have the depth like they do, so maybe we can sign him. So Cowboys got some decisions to make this offseason. So I'm just looking at that across the board. Then you look at what we have with receiver. Ever since Amari Cooper came, I feel like you don't need him to come in to be the savior. You just need him to complement. And what I mean by complement, he's the feature guy. But what I mean by compliment, you get him a certain amount of catches a game. You get him going. You get that attention on him. That way, Coco Hush. So what you do is you get that attention on him. And that way when you get Cole Beasley in the mix, you get Allen Hurns. You've seen Allen Hurns is now getting a lot of catches. So, come here. Sit down. Sit. I'm trying to do a video. Chill out. So yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. So you get him some catches. You get Allen Hurns moving. You get Gallup out there going, because Gallup is definitely going to be a guy for our future. Because that boy can high point the ball. I just need Dak to throw the ball faster. He's just a second late, and that second makes a lot of difference. Shut up. So yeah, so I just look at it like this. You have to. There's so many things on this team that are nerve-wracking. And the reason why it's nerve-wracking to me, because I'm sitting here and I'm like, this team has so much talent and so much potential. And I feel like some of these games we could have won. I'm like, come on now, you dropping goose eggs. You cannot do that. And these games ain't going to get more easier, because we got the Falcons. Yeah, they lost to the Browns, but I'm still not underestimating them. They still got weapons, and they still got Matty Ice throwing the ball. So it is what it is. Then we still got to play the Saints too, y'all. If we can get this Falcons game and this Redskins game, I'll be okay to lose the Saints, because at least we'll get that, you know, those wins back in the column, because I don't expect us to beat the Saints. I don't. They have just too much firepower. Not trying to be, you know, negative Nancy, because I'm never that, but I just don't have the confidence enough for us to get into a shootout. They scored 51 points this week, so that's something else. We ain't scored. I mean, we scored 40 points one time this season, and I'm actually shocked we did that with the Jaguars. And I can't. You really can't really speak on the Cowboys when it comes to that, because you never know what they're gonna do. You're going to be wrong about 95% of the time when it's predicting this team, because they are just like that. They'll disappoint you one week and they'll make you want to jump for joy the next. I mean, it's just it's crazy. And if you guys you guys saw Mark's live stream when I was over there on Sunday, and and Daniel was like, flags. Yay! It's almost like when they score or they get a first down, you don't want to celebrate or get excited until you see that yellow flag come across the field, and you're like, come on. And if you don't see that, then you can be like, because you always got to hesitate when they score. It's like, Dallas Cowboys scored. Yay! So it's a delay. So And I feel like it's gonna be like that for a while because these refs are just ridiculous. So what else we got? Now the team obviously doesn't look at the tight end position. Again, they weren't trying to go out to get nobody else. They were working with what they got. It's not like our tight ends are terrible, but they're just inexperienced in a lot of ways. The most experienced person we have is Jeff Swain. You know, he came back this game. Watch out, Coco. Move. He's the most experienced person right now that we have. And, you know, having him back in the game, he had a couple of catches. So it kind of was, I look at it and I'm like, they just need more playing time. I feel like the Cowboys are not utilizing. And I'm so irritated because they don't use Rico Gathers for nothing. And I mean, why have him on the team? Why drag him through this season for that? And if you're not going to use him at all, it just, to me, is asinine. But I don't know. I look forward to this week, and I hope that it's been a lot of rumors going on. Jerry Jones saying he didn't say this. Now they're talking about he's saying that he don't know where that Lincoln Riley talk came from, and I'm just like, really? It came from somewhere. I don't think reporters just made it up and pulled it out their behind. Now, it's possible, you know, because, you know, a lot of these reporters, you know, my degree is in communications too, so I kind of understand that journalism side. Like, you know, you got deadlines to make too, and sometimes you just got to get the story and whatever the scoop is. But again, that name is too specific for somebody to just pull that out of thin air. So I look at it like this. It was a talk somewhere. Somebody lying. Somebody's lying. But that's neither here nor there. You know, Jerry getting old, and, you know, he probably getting senile. I don't know. But Stephen Jones, I haven't really, you know, in the offseason, earlier in the season, you would see him getting interviewed and talked to a lot. He ain't been saying much. So it's I don't know. As much as I pay attention to this team, and as much as I watch the little things that are going on, I'm still shocked by a lot of things that I'm seeing, because I'm not really believing stuff until I know that it's, you know, to me it's hearsay until I get the actual real story. And I don't like to give out false information. That's not me. So I like to be factual as much as I can. And if I'm not sure, I'll tell you, I'm not sure. I'll let you know. But, you know, but that's just how I roll. Like, I'm not gonna mislead y'all from anything. That's just not how I do. But that's all I got for this evening, y'all. I'm gonna be doing more videos this week on breaking down the Falcons and talking about some of the keys of that game and how we can manipulate them guys and see what we can do with that. And like I said, they got beat by the Browns. So I'm going to go and watch some of that tape from that game. Because Cleveland beat them 28-16. And I don't know. Maybe they just had a bad day. I don't know. But like I said, I didn't see the game. So I'm going to go back and look at it. And I'm going to see some things and see what's going on. And see how they dropped that goose egg that game. But with that being said, thanks again to all my subscribers. If you're new to the channel, this is your first time seeing me, go ahead and tap dance on that subscribe button. Your boy ain't going to let you down. This is your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real. I'll talk to y'all soon. Have a great rest of your evening.